Hey, Besky Brains, Kirby here, aka Darkwing Disc, and alongside me, as always, is Ollie DePina. This is the K.O Disc Golf Show, where we're easily top two. We ain't number two, let me tell you that. Yeah. Welcome to episode 37. This is the Vulpex episode. Famous players to wear the number 37, Meta World Peace, and Deion Sanders when he was with the Ravens. It was pretty tough to find players that wore 37 that were like big deals. Red Sox players that wore the number 37, Nick Pivetta for the last couple of years, and Okajima, who was a pretty amazing relief pitcher in the mid-2000s. Mariners players who wore the number 37 was Paul Sewald. And Ollie, what you got for Giants players?
For Giants, we got Jesse Campbell from 1992 to 96. We got James Butler in the 2000s, so 2 Super Bowl champions. And then for my personal, one of the more recent guys, Gary Brightwell, running back.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we're going to get right into it. We have a very special guest this week. We'd like to introduce the man himself, Eagle McMahon. Eagle, welcome to the show. Really appreciate you taking a few minutes of your day out for us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. We're going to get right into it. Obviously you made a really big change last year from Discmania to MVP. Is there any plans in the future to maybe come back to the Shield, get you back on our side, buddy?
No, I've been thinking about it. Although I have liked throwing a lot of the MVP discs, like the Dimension, the Pyro, the Thrill. Those have been really good discs for me.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. I feel like your dork factor has gone up like tenfold. Like you were so cool with Discmania. I mean, what happened?
Yeah, it just offered me a lot of money, and I felt like it was time.
Come on, you
to
can't
leave the Shield.
Yeah, you can't diss the MVP and the Wind Dragon himself. Come on. That's Mr. 700, 800 feet. Come on.
What was up?
85 miles per hour.
Yeah, what was up with that Wind Dragon video, man? What happened there?
I was just feeling silly that day. I wanted to do something silly for the new disc release, and the Wind Dragon was born.
You still have the what is it, the dragon onesie, that costume?
Oh yeah, I got that in my room. That's gonna stay with me for a long time.
Nice. Well, Eagle, we really appreciate having you on here. Thank you so much for your time. We're going to keep it short and sweet because we know you're a busy guy out there. Where are you right now? Are you still in Colorado?
Yep, still in Colorado.
What's the weather like out there?
It's actually been pretty nice. There's snow on the ground. It's very cold.
Okay. Okay. Well, awesome. Yep. Once again, appreciate having you on, man. Great talking with you.
Great talking. Thanks, Eagle. Really appreciate it. Huge for the pod.
Huge. All right. That was Eagle McMahon. Really want to thank him for coming on. We're going to pivot right now and bring a even more and special guest, Asher Weideman. Asher, how's it going? Joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Such a big deal.
Thanks, guys, for having me on the pod.
Yeah, man. How's it going, bud? How are you?
It's going great.
Yeah. Asher, you and I are both on Team Discmania. We've kind of ran into each other here and there for the last couple of years. You've only been playing MPO now, like 2 years?
This year was my first year playing MPO.
First year playing MPO. Wow. All right. Nice. Yeah, because I remember you won the PAC-X, and did you win PAC-X MA1 Cup at one point?
Yeah, I won it last year.
Cool. Nice. Yeah. Once again, man, pleasure having you on. You live really close to Fort Selicum. That's your home course, right?
Yeah, I mean 5 minutes. Pretty much, it's my backyard.
Yeah. I want to say almost every time I'm there, warming up for a tournament, I feel like I run into you chilling on hole 6, or warming up. Yeah.
Shortcut in the neighborhood that you go down the street, you take a right, and go down another street, and it's right there, literally at the end of a road.
Very cool. Yeah, no, really good.
I I get jealous of that. Just like Seattle golf, it's like I have like pretty limited options if I want to play somewhere close with like Lakewood, North Park, or like Terrace, basically. If I'm like, and even then, it's like Terrace and SeaTac. Oh yeah, SeaTac as well. SeaTac would be like the one though to go to, but I get really jealous that I hear people be like, "Oh yeah, I live right next to Stilicho." I'm like, oh,
Yeah, I mean, like you look at all those houses down by like Delphi. Like man, how nice would that?
Oh yeah.
I know the person, one of the people that lives on 18's Green, and so
Be?
like it's my uncle's like best friend or something like that. So he came out and like my uncle came to the event and watched when we were at Otis, and then he was like, "Come by my place, I got a beer for you" or something. I was like, "Oh hell!" I remember being like, I don't think I took him up on it, but I was like, "Next, I will one of these days, one of these tournaments." I'll be like, "That would be cool."
Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, I know I think like El Jefe. I think he just moved like up there and lives up in that area now too. Yeah, really cool. Asher, I know you're a big anime fan. What's like your must-watch anime right now, or the anime you got to recommend to everyone?
Ooh. Can I give you? I'll give you current anime that are airing to watch, and then I'll give you like stuff that
This is
you
such,
need to
like,
catch up on.
such an anime fan answer.
Um, yeah, it is. I'd say the two that I'm watching currently that are airing are Blue Lock and Don. Both are really good. Blue Lock's animation for season two hasn't been the greatest. Um,
I love Blue Lock. I'm a big I
I
like Blue
know
Lock.
it's so good. I just wish the animation was a little bit better.
I can get
Um,
over that. I can get over that. I'm
okay.
like I'm such a sports anime fan for some reason. I think it's like so cool to be like I don't know, when I was a kid I feel like I used to think about having like sports superpowers and stuff like that where like
Fine.
Yeah,
Kuroko no Basket is one of my favorites where like I
you get
really
into
like
the
that.
zone and the
Yeah,
flow. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So Blue Lock is good. Don is really weird, but it's really great at the same time. I would highly recommend it. No. The final episode is airing this Thursday. There's
Okay.
12 episodes, so easy to catch up on.
Yeah, I think I'm like eight
And then,
Don to Don, and
yeah,
I only watched that because you recommended it, and like I watched the first
yeah.
episode, and I like messaged you, and I was like, "Yo, what the hell is this? Like, what is going on?"
Yeah.
Like, it's a weird show, but it's really good.
It gets weirder, but it gets better.
Yeah,
Okay.
really
It's
well,
really fun.
really
I
great.
will be watching that. I
Yeah,
will be watching that.
it's weird, dude.
I'd say the anime to watch that are not airing. Currently, I'm on season 2 of Code Geass. I'm like midway through it. Code Geass is really good.
Okay,
Yes.
And then Vinland Saga is just
Venom Saga.
gold. Vinland Saga is great. I love it so much.
Nice. I'm not familiar with either of those, to be honest. I'm more like the one
Oh,
side of things. Like I'm still
Yeah.
like I'm thinking about like restarting One Piece just like for shits and giggles.
Nah, go watch one of those recs. Go watch a rec.
yeah, go watch Vinland Saga. Go watch Code Geass. Code Geass is great.
Code Geass is really good. I think you'd like it. I think you'd really like. Yeah, you
Cool.
should watch that, Kirby.
Are these on Netflix? I know like Netflix has a like, huge category now.
I think Vinland Saga is. I don't know if Code Geass is.
Okay,
I am not
I'll look
sure.
around for it. I know like Hulu has a really big catalog too. So,
Oh, yeah.
very cool. Ollie, how you doing, man? How's everything going?
Ah, it is good. Been um had a little 2 days off, and then I go to work a little earlier today, which I'm pretty excited for. So it is raining out pretty hard, so I will be outside pushing carts in some rain. I had a pretty bad week last week doing that, and it was
Yeah,
just cold and wet, but it was all good. I'm like actively noticing like I don't know, my arms are like like I don't know. There's small little things where I'm like, oh, I don't mind this, it's not too bad. And
Mm-hmm.
then I competed in the North Park bag tag finale, which was fun. We'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, just kind of like playing when I can, and then I'm buying a bunch of Pokemon cards. That's about it right now. Working Pokemon and disc golf. That's like about my life. And hang out with Roxy. Did a bunch of grocery shopping yesterday. It was
nice, bro.
Nice.
Like grocery store with your partner is like top tier thing to do.
yeah, it's
Like
pretty fun.
when Ellie and I first like got into a relationship, like we'd go to the grocery store all the time together. And it was awesome just to like kind of hang out and like walk around the aisles and like kind of talk about like what you might get. You know what I mean? Let's just like when you have a partner you care about, grocery
I
store
think it
top
it
tier.
also shows more about who you are as a person by what you're kind of looking at the grocery store, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
100%, dude. Uh, nice. Yeah, my week was pretty chill. A lot of the same stuff, just kind of disc golfing here and there, like when I could find like the nice weather. Ellie had her big like work event, which like she spends. I mean, like she's already working on next year's event kind of thing. Like she has an idea like in the works. Like she spends all year. It's like a huge like 200 to 300 person party that she throws. Like this year was casino themed, so
Oh,
I played like blackjack and roulette like all night long, like drinking old fashions because it was like a 1920s themed party. I won a bunch of prizes, like because that's you cash in your casino chips and you win whatever. And so I was telling I was telling Ollie before the show, I won like 15, 20 packs of Pokemon cards because that was like one of the prizes because there's a lot of kids that are there. But when I saw those and I was like mine, I was like I'm getting those. So a lot of fun though, like really just like a ton of work. Like I end up kind of working most of the day, like set up and like breakdown and stuff like that for it. So after a few old fashions and like hanging out, like playing games all night, it's like 11 o'clock at night, and I'm like hauling like totes like to the van and stuff like that. And oh man, I was so tired, but good time, and it's always nice to kind of help her and all that. So kind of moving right along. Update: Chandler Kramer, the KO disc golf effect, man. He won his first A tier. It's not because of us, obviously, but I like to think that
it's kind of because of you.
I like we put him in the right headspace to win.
You gotta make sure they're no, you gotta be able to be prepped with that KO Disc Golf Show that Tuesday to prepare for a good day on Friday.
Mm,
You
That's
know, it starts on that Tuesday.
that's right.
It starts on that Tuesday.
That's right. We got him all hyped up. He's like, "That's right, I am the man." So, yeah, no, really cool for him. Really happy for him. That's awesome. I think he was out there trying to prove a point. He's like, "No, forehands are the best throw. Forehands are the best throw." So,
mm.
Ollie, do you want to talk about the bag tag finale?
Yes, sir. So, fun day at North Park. We played 27 holes. You came in with the tag that you had for the year, and then that kind of decided the cards. I came in with the four tag, so I just made the lead, or like kind of like top card, which was cool. I got to play with Dan Medina, who's a Washington State champion for one of the I forget what year it was exactly, but he's a really great disc golfer, and I've learned a lot from him playing with him and stuff. And then the winner was Connor Lose, so that was cool getting to play with him as well. Um, but I ended up getting fourth place again, and or coming out with the four tag. It wasn't too eventful of a round. North Park's a pretty short course, and then the last nine holes were like all in the short position. I basically just like kind of just I don't know, it was on cruise control, just having a good time. I wasn't really caring about the scores too much. But yeah, ended up shooting fourth, which I was pretty happy with, and walked out with a little money. And I was bummed I couldn't stay for the raffle, but I heard it went really well. I know they raised a bunch of money for the club, and so it'll be exciting to see like where that goes and the implementations of those and different
Yeah,
things like that.
nice.
But yeah, it was a good event. It had food. Got to play with Toby, so shout out to him. He was on the lead card as well. He came in
Cool.
with the one tag, so that was cool to see. Yeah, it was a good day. Not too rainy, not too cold. But yeah.
Nice. Yeah, the club does a lot of good stuff. I mean, that course is always the course is always having like little minor improvements to it, and course looks. I mean, when I first moved to Seattle, that course was like disgusting. Like it was so gross. It was so bad. And now, I mean, like, granted, it's in the middle of the city, and you can only do so much about certain things, but it's still like well taken care of, and like it's like tended to very well, and you can see that they really care and they're trying really hard. So, really, just good for them. Good overall.
Yeah, it's interesting to see like with a short course like that, with all the like crazy winds that have been happening, the course has had like some major changes. I feel like just like how it plays
Hmm.
since of these like big wind days and stuff like that. And then, I don't know, I've definitely experienced that in like the short time I've been playing disc golf, but like I don't. There's definitely been time like I don't know how like what's the biggest extent of like there was some big trees that fell at SeaTac on like that one like that really changed like it was 21 or 20 like the really long straight par four
Oh yeah,
Mm.
with the two trees. That right tree fell, and
yeah.
so
They cleared it up a lot, so like it's back to
yeah,
like it's like nothing is changed about it again. You know, it doesn't like open up a line or anything like that. I don't think. 21.
yeah.
That really
Isn't that right tree just gone now?
the really straight par four.
Yeah. There's like two trees off the tee pad that
19.
you just go through.
Yeah,
You
no,
yeah.
there's still
It,
like
it doesn't open it up, but it definitely makes that shot just less like I don't know. I think
I,
about those two trees. You know, it just makes me think about it a little
yeah,
differently,
yeah.
you know. And maybe that's not the biggest one, and there's definitely going to be bigger changes of a whole from the weather and natural stuff for sure. I mean, I've seen it at Twin Rivers and other things like
I mean,
that, but it's
Twin,
definitely just interesting. And so North Park's playing definitely different than it's ever have.
yeah,
It's also one of the reasons is because we have it so cleaned up and nice, so that's good.
yeah.
So shout out to everyone there.
What's that? What is it? Whole like that like sharp right hook. What is it like? Whole like 8 or something like that.
Into
That
the tunnel.
Yeah, that tree that
Yeah,
came down that was right above it. That's a huge change to that hole because it used to be a really sharp like low.
low. Yeah.
Yeah, and now you can throw like a big like air turnover whatever you want at it. Like that really, I feel like personally like that really changed that hole a lot for me.
Yeah, yeah, I see that. People still used to throw that turnover shot over the tree, and that
Oh,
was like cool to see. And now it's like still cool to see, but now it's like
it's
you
like
should have done it out there. You should have done
yeah,
it out there.
yeah. It's not you're not contending with anything. Did anything, Asher? Did anything come down in the last couple of weeks at Northwest or at Rhodey?
Nothing came down at Rhodey. Hole 8 of Northwest is probably the most recent one. There used to be, I don't know how well you guys know it, but you go down like almost midway through hole 8, there is a small, very skinny, like sticky tree. And it was probably the most annoying part about that hole
Mm-hmm.
because you throw a perfect shot and then you just clip that thing
Yeah.
and you'd get kicked into the abyss. And that came down, but I think someone took that down.
Oh,
Which,
that's that.
yeah, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, I mean,
Was
Hey,
it?
I'm not too
it
mad
was
about
him.
it.
It was him. It was him, officer.
Face just got real red. I don't know what's going on, man. I am never for people kind of taking down their own branches and that kind of thing. But when they happen
Yeah.
naturally and it opens the lineup, there is a little part of me that's like, ooh, I'm a little
Mhm.
excited about this. You know, like it's just if it's natural, it's great. But you know, there shouldn't be people out there like tending them.
Cutting down trees, digging
Yeah,
out trees. Yeah.
that's not cool, obviously. Um, there was some big news in disc golf this week. Some cool stuff has kind of come out, even though it's off season. We're probably not going to get like real contract announcement stuff probably for another like 2 weeks, 3 weeks until the first week of January is when you really see people kind of announcing. I think probably in the next week or so you'll start to see like more rumors of players being caught, with certain discs or throwing certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Heath last year, was kind of early on in December. People were like, yeah, he's been throwing Innova, so people kind of knew what was coming up the pipeline kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, some news this week. GK Pro is turning into the Gothrow. They're going to have their own kind of like mini tour or something like that is kind of what I understand and kind of what I've picked up. They're going to have an event at Kayak, which, I'm curious about checking out and going to and playing in myself, especially with it being local. I found out it's the weekend of May 23rd, which is the weekend of the Cascade Challenge, the non-DGPT one. So it goes Cascade Challenge, DGPT, this Go Throw event at Kayak, and then I think the week after that is the Northwest Championship. So you probably could go potentially, 3 weeks in a row with like elite level events, quote unquote, right? I'm really
That's
curious
really
about it.
cool.
I'm really curious. There's apparently going to be like really big payouts. Apparently, like first place for these events is supposed to walk with like $20,000, and there's supposed to be like $50,000 added cash to these events. At least that's what they're announcing for Eagles Crossing, and it seems like they're trying to make that like the standard. And if that is going to be the standard, like that's a shit ton of money to add into the events like that. Like, where are they getting that money? Because there's no way GK Pro, like itself, had $350,000, $500,000 just like chilling in the bank off of like skins matches. Like that's so
Yeah.
much money to kind of like throw forward. I know they're doing a lot of stuff with like Eagles Crossing, so I'm wondering if like the guys from Eagles Crossing are putting in a lot of the money to kind of make this kind of thing happen and that kind of deal. But what are you guys' thoughts on like just there being like a almost competitive tour, or a tour that's starting to compete with the Pro Tour?
I think it's good. I mean, I think more disc golf is always better, especially if, I don't know, let's say you're a pro on tour and you don't want to hit up the next stop immediately. You can go play a smaller event, but still get big amount of money, apparently. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think I agree. Just the more golf, the better the golf. It kind of whole. I think if this ends up working out and players really like this, that all it does is put pressure on the Pro Tour to up their own standards of their own events. And so, um, I mean, I say this quote all the time, but I liked it from the Drew Gibson video talking about it, where he's talking about iron sharpens iron. So
Yeah.
like basically, like if you have something else there, you're only gonna improve each other, and so I don't know. I'm a believer in that would not affect anything with that. They were pretty clear with it being not a competition to a tour. Or they're not. Oh, there we go.
I know it's fallen.
Falling.
Yeah, that was a good catch.
Thank
Not a competition to the tour, but like a add-on to the tour, they want to say. Like they're and that's probably just in their own like maybe legal or like whatever they're trying to tiptoe, along being a competitor towards that. But they are. But they wanted to be clear that they're just added on. So I'm sure they're going to make an effort to make sure these events are playable for all the pro players to be able to go to. So it's not on a big weekend for someone else.
how long
But
does how long do you do that though? If you're GoThrow and you're doing that for 2-3 years and you have 12 events under your belt that are as
do you make money?
as successful, if not more successful than the Pro Tour, like at what point do you start being like, all right, like we are doing stuff on the same weekend and we're going to start competing with you because we think we're doing it better? Like when do you think that transition would potentially happen?
If the Go Throw Tour ended up becoming more like making more money sooner, because the Pro Tour is still a sinking ship as of now, where like they're still trying to like make money off of like these different business plans and doing different things. And so it's hard for me as a fan of disc golf who wants to see disc golf grow, because at the same time as like I say iron sharpens iron, like I feel like there's real um worry, I guess, in a way. I don't really know, because I'm just like not familiar with like any the thing happened too much like this in sports with like, since they're not making money, a competitor might just put it under completely or something like that, where like I'm also worried about like the possible future of that. Not really worried about it, like I said, but like it's just something I think about in that
Yeah.
sense. Um,
No,
I still want to support the only, like not the only, but like the highest level of disc golf still, and I want that to stay a thing for a long time. So
yeah, I totally agree that competition is best. I was a big fan of wrestling, so you look at like WCW and WWF back in the day, and like both products were so good because they were trying to outdo each other. And if that's what happens with the Pro Tour, where you have GoThrow and the Disc Golf Pro Tour trying to outdo each other in terms of fan service, in terms of what they bring to the table for the pros, the venues, and all that, like if everything keeps getting elevated because they're kind of trying to outdo each other, I'm a huge fan of it. But if at the end, if they end up cannibalizing each other, like you simply cannot have that. Like you said, the Pro Tour is already like struggling, and if you have this other thing that makes them struggle even more, like that simply can't happen. Like they need to be elevated together. Another thought I had was because the Pro Tour owns Jomez, like the GK skins matches, like would they be like Jomez skins matches? Like why can't, you know what I mean? Like if you have the Jomez film crew doing the product that they do, like could you just have them, you know what I mean? Like go and like take that place and kind of do that stuff. You're like, if you're the Pro Tour, you're not really missing a beat by like losing these people. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, another thing that I saw come out this week that I personally am not a fan of is the Pro Tour restricting players from playing other events. I think if that's the case, like if you're a Pro Tour card holder and the Pro Tour says like, nope, you can't play any other events, like that's bullshit, and absolutely nobody should get a Pro Tour card.
Yeah.
If it's that you just can't play any other events on weekends that there's a Pro Tour event, I'm also not a fan of that, but that's not bad. I don't know. Like, what do you guys think about this? Because I personally don't like the Pro Tour like restricting in like how many events or what events players can do and when and that kind of thing. Like if a Pro Tour card holder can't afford to be on tour and wants to go home and play in a B tier at his local course, like why should he not be able to just because there's a Pro Tour event going on the other side of the country that he can't afford to go to, right? Like
or like you have your family member's wedding or something like that, or you're helping someone move in, so you have to be back home with your family where you have to be back home for an extended period of time where it's like touring's not an option. Yeah, like you said. Yeah, I see that.
I think like the stretch of where the Pro Tour goes to Europe, like if some players just like can't do that, then they shouldn't be punished for not being able to do that.
Yeah, you shouldn't be forced to take a month off of playing tournaments because you can't afford a month in Europe. You know what I mean? To like golf. Like that's crazy. I totally agree. That's an insane. I didn't even think about the European aspect of it, but like that elevates the point so much.
Yeah, I don't see how that would work out at all.
Another thing that I think is kind of weird that the Pro Tour, I don't know if the Pro Tour has fully announced that they're doing this, but it's just something that they're talking about implementing in the future, I think is the idea here. They want to have the rights to all players' likeness for all time or something like that, something along those lines. And I know Drew Gibson kind of explained it as like, hey, if the Pro Tour wants to use like a video from like years ago, if they want to replay it, like they need the ability to use your likeness like for those videos. And personally, I don't think that they need my likeness. I think they just need the rights to any coverage that they ever do. You know what I mean? Like any coverage that's at a Pro Tour event, the Pro Tour should just have full rights to, but I don't know that the Pro Tour needs the rights to my likeness for all time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a almost like outside of disc golf question at that point, and it starts getting into like I don't know, it's hard to I don't know.
It's not like
It's like it makes sense to have like a lot more question marks with this, but then if you look at it on any other like aspect of it, or like any like put it in like basketball, like any other sport, maybe like smaller sport, I could try to think of a better example, but like I see why they do that, but or like I'm sure there's certain things in place.
Let me be clear. The Pro Tour is not trying to use my personal image.
No,
they don't want me. I'm just saying the play.
No.
Just to clear that up, you know what I mean? Because like I'm not that guy, right? But
no. I so you got an email. You're going to be on the website, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. But I mean, like maybe like tennis is like a good example where like Federer, like does like the Professional Tennis Association have the rights to use Federer's image, forever? Or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
if I'm Federer, I'd be like, yo, like you can't use me to promote this thing. Like I have it, you know what I mean? Or like maybe they have the rights to use the footage of your tennis matches and they just put that into the thing. And it's just like, hey, they own the rights to that coverage. Of course they do. Like, I don't know enough about like that side of like the law and like contracts or anything like that. It just seems weird for the Pro Tour to want like the rights to your likeness for like indefinitely kind of thing. Like just seems strange.
Yeah.
Anything that says like indefinitely or forever is always kind of like it's a red flag. Cause it's like, wait, what exactly does that mean?
What am I signing up for? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, there goes my first two children. Another thing that I am a fan of this next one. No step putting inside of 20 meters, roughly about 66 feet or so. I'm a huge fan of this. I love it. Like I love jump putting from like a long distance. But there are so many like questions and there's so many issues about like, am I inside the circle, outside of the circle? It's just like, hey, we're freaking done with it. Just push it back to 66 feet. And everybody has just a standstill at that point. Like, what do you guys think about this? Cause I'm personally a big fan.
I'm a little bit torn because I like step putting. I like kind of falling forward on a awkward putt that's inside or that's outside circle one. But a part of me gets that other side of it.
Yeah, I think it's easier to like black and white it with a jump putt and be like, okay, you can't jump putt there. But yeah, what if you're on your knee, awkward position? Yeah, it looks like you're just falling forward past your lie. It's like, I don't think there's too much with that, but I don't know. When I saw this in the show notes, I was pretty excited because I saw a guy's post where he like pretty clearly foot faults, and he even says he's like, I think I do, where he's like doing like the jump putt and looks like he's like
It's just
Michael,
yeah.
yeah, he's so high up. And Luke Taylor had a really long comment about it because Luke Taylor has kind of a similar jump putt style, and he makes just like every jump putt outside circle, like if it's like 30s whatever to 50 feet, it's like it's going in
He's dialed.
basically
Yeah.
dialed. But it's interesting because he was like, even if this is a foot fault, like one, it's not being called, and then he's like, two, it's like what advantage is actually being given? You're like off the ground, so there's no power being like he was like making a whole argument about jump putting and like how is it really even effective? It's just like how he likes to putt. But I'm like, it definitely is effective, and like
Yeah.
what you're doing is
Mhm.
definitely effective towards it. So I just thought it was interesting because I was like, you're kind of just arguing, and like while defending this, you're kind of just like arguing that you are always foot
Yeah.
faulting.
And like they're arguing, like, well, they don't call me out on it. It's just like, well, they still like until everyone now just officially starts calling you out on every single one, and regardless if you've actually done it or not. Like
Yeah.
Because some are close. He said it's just too close to call in person, so no one's gonna call it. And he said, "What advantage does it actually give me? Because my feet are off the ground. I have no generation of power from the legs and into the putt."
I
And I was like,
yeah, that's kind of a slippery slope there. I don't know if 66 feet is necessarily
the spot.
the spot. You know what I mean? Like, what if it's like 15 meters? Like, I don't know, what is 15 meters? Like 55, ish feet or 50-ish feet, something like that, right? Like, I don't know, maybe like that's a good spot, right? Maybe it's not a full C2, but it's like a C1.5 or something like that. And like you just make that circle one like a little bigger. Like, I like that. I don't like the idea of like different shaped greens, like maybe for the pro tour, like if they want to do something like that, you could do a special rule for that. But I also don't want to see this just be on the pro tour. I want to see this get implemented into all levels of disc golf, especially if like the rating is going to stay the same. Like if my rating matters for me to get into these pro tour events and that kind of thing, it needs to be consistent the whole way. I can't be playing by a certain set of rules here, get qualified to play here, and now we're playing by a different set of rules while we get up to that level. Like that's not okay, I don't think. So I want to see it be consistent in all levels, and I personally would love to see that circle get pushed back. But yeah, I don't know that circle like 66 feet is kind of far. Like you know what I mean? Like that's kind of a long way, just like a standstill toss.
And then at that point, is it gonna be a 66 feet for MPO and FPO players, and like is that so? Then where does the consistency go with that too? Because I don't really want to. I want to see like a whatever it is. I want it for every single person that plays on the whole, like to be that circle.
Yeah, I think
maybe like a depending on the hole, like a variety of like if it's like a more open, like something hole, like a variety of like a deeper circle or something like that. But like. I don't know. It's definitely something interesting, and they have to figure out because it's getting to a point where that circle one is getting to be. I mean, people still miss putts from there, but it's definitely becoming a lot less and less and less.
I mean, you see people who are more excited about being at 35 feet than being at 28 feet.
I mean, I'm there sometimes too.
Like,
I mean, I'm there a lot.
Yeah, it's like crazy that like there's the perception of an advantage by not being closer. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm almost like a little too close. Like, damn, I kind of missed a little. Like that's
like shoot a 3-pointer. You get further away.
You get more points for that. So I don't know.
Fine.
Go for it.
I'd be fine if they just push the circle to 45 feet.
Yeah.
If I feel like 45 feet is a lot of pros at 45 feet. They're pretty consistent without having to putt. But again, it'd take out that, I feel more confident from like 34 than I do from, 26 feet, right?
Yeah.
then you just have to stand still for that distance now.
Yeah. I think 45 to 50 sounds like a sweet spot, like to me personally. This is something that I'm really curious to see, like how it develops in that. And the example that I've seen kind of get put out there a lot is that like the PGA, like the golf has, they changed the rule specifications for how you putt. Apparently, like people were putting the putter like to their chest and keeping that, and it like is an easier pendulum motion. And the PGA said like, hey, like this is against the like wording of like what an actual putt is, and like you can't have like your hands like against your chest like in that pendulum motion, like they have to be removed from your body or something like that. So even the you know what I mean, like even the PGA is still like changing like rules and like the way things are done and like the wording of things. So like we should be allowed to change, you know, the way we do those things too. You know, the game's evolved so much. So
Yeah.
Ollie, you want to jump into the fantasy football check-in?
We'll make it short and sweet.
Bro,
We got the
exactly.
second round of the playoffs. CL25423 comes out with a 40-point win over 2 tight ends, 1 cup. So I think they're going to be moving to the championship playing against Team Slop Jockeys with a massive 170. Team Slop Jockeys has kind of been on a roll. 176 to Toby's 150, or to the OK Fantasy Football Show's 153-12. Kirby, you're currently going to be in, I think, the 5th place game, or you might just be out.
I didn't even
You lost
last week. Once I got eliminated, I was like, oh, I'm out.
Me and Lucas are playing for King, the Poop King, aka last place. So I'm on pace right now to be last, but hopefully we clutch it up. But we'll meet up. We'll figure out who wins this and get you some cool discs and stuff, and get you all those cool fantasy football prizes. But it's been fun. Excited for next week. I think it's going to be our last week 16. So
Yeah. Ollie and I will get together and figure out what the prize pack is and that kind of thing for winning. I got a couple of discs set aside at the house specifically for the victor of the league. So yeah, we'll have your prizes at Emerald City Discs. You come by here and pick them up sometime. So all right, moving right into the draft for this week. We are about a week short of. We are a week short right now of Christmas. So we're about a week short of Christmas right now. So we're going to do the holiday draft. I put it in the show notes, guys. Keep it pretty like specific. Try not to draft like vague things. Like don't just draft Christmas. Is kind of the idea there. I'm going to start with the first pick. Ollie's going to go with the second pick, and Asher will have the third pick. And it's really anything holiday related, anything this time of year related. So with the first pick, I'm going to pick Christmas presents. I love giving my wife Christmas presents. She's really great at getting me Christmas presents. She knows a lot of what I like, which is really great. Her and I are really like bad with it though, because we start ordering stuff like mid-October, early November, and as soon as we get something, and I'm like, yo, you want a gift? I'm like, yo, you know, so like by the time Christmas rolls around, like we have like maybe like 1 or 2 gifts to give each other like left, but like yeah, it's like a month and a half long, 2-month long like gift giving season for the two of us. It's pretty awesome.
My mom has a rule in the house that any discs that me and my dad get after like a certain time in October, we have to wait till Christmas to get it.
Oh no! Oh yeah, you got a couple
cool.
of mystery boxes waiting for you, right?
Oh yeah, I got 2 under the tree right now.
Nice, very cool. Ollie, what you got for the number 2 pick?
So you went Christmas like presents under the tree. So,
yeah, Christmas presents. Yeah.
Okay. So like I could take like Christmas movies. That'd be like a pretty.
Sure. Yeah. I think that would.
Yeah, I don't think it's too specific, but too broad at the same time. Holiday themed movies.
Yeah.
I love the like Heat Miser, Ice Miser ones. Those are like some of my favorites. Like the. Yeah, those are like some, because like I just like, yeah, those are like my favorites, honestly. Yeah. And then like, of course you got there's so many bangers like Santa Claus, Home Alone,
Asher,
Die Hard.
Huh? Do I know what?
the claymation Christmas movies.
Like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That one.
Okay.
Yeah, I know
They're
this.
still playing. Like, I mean, you're 18, right?
I'm 16.
16? Shit, dude, you're younger than I thought.
I
Whoa.
turned 17 January 2nd.
Dang, bro. Well, happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Oh, I guess yeah, that's really soon.
Dang, cool. Yeah, I'm glad they're still out there. I'm glad kids are still watching those though. So that's good.
Well, I don't know if they're watching now. I definitely saw them when I was a kid.
Yeah, I imagine that seems like the kind of thing that would be timeless. But Asher, you got the number 3 and the number 4 pick here.
Let's see. For number 3, I think I'm gonna take a Christmas tree.
Okay.
Banging.
And
Banger.
for number 4, I'm torn here. But I don't want to say what the
You
both
can't-
options are, so you guys can't steal.
Just gotta make sure you pick the one you don't think we're thinking of.
Yeah. You get your hand.
I'm going to choose stockings.
Oh.
Ooh, I like that. Different
like
than
stock-
gifts.
There's a lot.
Different than gifts, but still like
Mhm.
because it's usually the first thing you see on Christmas. You get the candy in there, you get the smaller things. You're
Yep.
grabbing for it. That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm a
There we
big fan of
go.
knickknacks and like desk toy items and stuff like that. And those are perfect stocking stuffers. Love it, dude. Good one.
Thanks.
I hope I'm not being too broad with this one too, but snow days.
No, that's a great one, dude.
Woo!
It's a good one.
Snow days.
White Christmas.
White Christmas, yeah,
hits
like
different.
snow days and the holidays. I think that's also leaving it broad enough to allow some other things, activities.
Yeah, for
wink,
sure.
wink.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah.
No, snow days is that's dope, dude. As a kid, I'm old enough where like when we were really young, I grew up in Western New York, like Buffalo, right by like Niagara Falls, so we'd get a ton of snow. So there'd be certain mornings that I see that there's snow on the ground, and I would turn on the news, and I would sit in front of the news, and I would be like, "Come on, like fucking come on!" And I would the bottom would put up schools, and then
Yep.
I'd be like Tonawanda High School would be like, "Fucking right, baby!" Like,
Nice.
We
and
would do that here. I'd get so hyped. But now they don't even now when you have school closed, it's all you just go to online learning days.
Yeah.
That's what I've been seeing. I'm like, there's no real snow days no more. You don't even
nah.
Mhm.
the youth won't even understand the pick. What am
Yeah.
I doing?
That's crazy. All right, I got the number 6 pick. To kind of go with snow days, I'm gonna pick sledding. Sledding, top tier winter activity. You know, you get all dressed all warm. You got the snow pants on, all the hat, the gloves. Worst part of sledding is walking back up the hill, but going down that hill,
Yep.
it's so sick, dude. Such a good time.
It's worth it to walk back up the hill.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so sledding is big on my list there. And then another pick for me is going to be. Oh, man, I was not prepared for this draft. I didn't write a lot of stuff down.
We'd love to hear it.
Yeah. You know what I really enjoy is on Christmas we go to my mother-in-law's house and we do like a Christmas brunch where she makes like Dutch baby pancakes and we get like all kinds of different sausages. So I'm gonna say like Christmas brunch is pretty sweet.
Okay.
So
Back to me.
Yep, Ollie, you got the number 8 pick.
All right. With the number 8 pick, we are gonna go with like a hot cocoa. You know, you got the hot cocoa.
Dang it! That's what I was
Got
going
the
to
marshmallows in there. Yes, sir.
You stole it from me.
Nice. So
Pairs well with my snow day that I already got. Woo, imagine my snow day, my hot
All
cocoa.
right, now I gotta think.
Ollie's got a whole date day going on.
That one hurts because I was gonna pick.
Yeah, I got Ellie an advent calendar, like a Harry Potter themed advent calendar. That's all hot cocoa. So every day, like it's sprinkles, it's marshmallows. Day 1 was a wand to stir your hot cocoa, and the hot cocoa itself changes colors. So you put it into the milk, and then it'll turn like yellow because that means that you're like in Ravenclaw, and then it'll turn like green because
that's so
cool. It's really really cool. I was like, man,
that's so cool.
Yeah.
I want next year because I've always done the chocolate ones. I want to get the Pokemon card advent calendars. I think those are sick.
Yo, those are pretty sick looking. Yeah, I got Ellie 2 different advent calendars this year. She really likes them. One was like a cheap jewelry one or some crap. I don't know, dude. She loved it though. So it's easy stuff.
Dang it, he took the hot chocolate pick.
Yeah, you got
Now
the
I got it.
back here.
Okay, let's see. I think, am I able to lock in Santa?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, lock in. Can I get Santa?
Yo, you
Can
got
I
the
get Santa?
yeah.
All right, that
Ah,
means I could. That just sets me up for my dark horse,
Big
Saint
one.
Nick, Saint Nick last pick.
Yeah.
I'm
oh my.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You got one.
And then I think I'm gonna go Christmas Eve church service. I think Christmas Eve
Ooh,
church service hits really nice
a
because
Sure.
classic.
we go to it in like middle of the day, like 2 o'clock. We come back and then the family comes over for Christmas Eve dinner.
Nice.
I think that's really nice.
The whole day kind of thing. Cool.
Yeah.
Ollie, what you got for the number 11 pick?
Number 11 in my last pick.
Yes, sir.
We are gonna go with. Oh, there's a couple different. I'm trying to there because one's like more holiday specific. I think we'll take our cop out. We'll just do some snow angels in the yard.
No Angel.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple other ones, but I think one of them's a reach. I'm trying to keep my draft. No reaches this week. Sometimes most weeks I'll have like 2 to 3 pretty like bad picks, I'd
Out
say.
there picks. Yeah.
Out there. Like, and sometimes they hit. Hey,
Sometimes your picks are really, really good, and I'm like, shit, he's on a totally different wavelength on this one than I am.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'm like, Ollie missed the boat on this draft. With the last draft, hey man, I already said it. Advent calendars,
I know. I should
they're
have just
fun.
taken it.
Yeah,
No one taking
as
it.
the
Yeah.
yeah. Does anybody have any like honorable mentions, kind of leftover stuff on your list? I really don't
I,
have.
I wanted to say
Christmas
something about.
Christmas
Oh,
lights?
oh, that's a
Yeah,
great
that's a
pick.
top tier one. I should have
That's
picked.
like you're gonna go drive in your car to go do Christmas lights, and
Yeah,
then
Yep.
yeah.
I think another one I was thinking of was just like some snow disc golf rounds. I think are around the holiday season, but I don't think they're necessarily holiday.
Right, right. I
Mhm.
love when you get to like Lakewood hole one when it freezes over and you can skip off of the frozen lake. Like that's a super fun
Ooh.
shot. Like it's always just like a once a year you might as well kind of thing.
Santa pictures.
Santa pictures, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
man, I really miss holiday lights. Like, man, seriously, that's such a good one. I really wish I would have picked that one. Cool. Ollie, you want to wrap us up? Asher, first of all, thank
Yeah.
you so much for joining us, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Oh, dude, great having you on.
Yeah, thanks so much, Asher. I really appreciate you. I think I saw you play last year in that MA1, like when you were talking about that, and then recently I saw you a couple tournaments this year in MPOs.
Mhm.
I remember like really vividly, like we talked on the field at Evergreen, and we were talking about the
Yeah.
PD2 Kirby gave me. You're like, oh, you got a money one, and I was like, yes, I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
But yeah, it's just super awesome to have you. Hopefully have you on some more, and excited to see you for this next year. But
Whatever
we gotta
episode,
end it.
whenever you get to like Gengar episode, because Gengar's my favorite Pokemon. So
Okay, yep.
that'd
All
be
right,
Good
cool.
to know. Good to know.
lock him in. Yeah,
Yeah, no, we're locking that in. You can't now. You're in it.
yeah,
In it?
no
All
problem.
right.
What Pokemon is getting? What number is Gengar? Do you know,
I'm
Kirby?
looking it up right now. Gengar's 94.
All right,
94.
94. We'll not lock it in. 60 episodes from now, you're coming on.
Yeah, yes,
Basically.
Yeah.
I have the Pokemon Pokedex page already up on my laptop. I was ready for that one.
Nice.
And to end this awesome episode 37, kind of crazy to say every single week, there's a lot of negativity in the world. I'm trying to be positive. Ron Artest, or formerly known as Ron Artest, meta world peace. Aim high, shoot low, and we'll see you next week. Thanks so much. Peace.
See you guys.